Reason Gaming, Shrek is Love, and Willowkeeper. There you go. I got it off the top of my head. Anyway, so those are the 6 teams already, of course, qualifying through Carnage and Caldivar. We need 2 more teams. One of them is going to be one of these teams. Dawn versus Blue Dingo Balls. Again, just can't get enough of that, but here we are, deservingly so here. And, you know, we've got the chance to cast each one of these teams throughout these qualifiers at least once. And definitely impressive play. Looking forward to seeing which of these teams is going to be joining that Diamond Division. Of course, joined by Mini Maggot once again, as well as Quincy. Mini Maggot, we got a good winter bracket finals matchup here.
Got an excellent winter bracket. Oh, I can hear myself, but I think you're echoing. Oh, there we go. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
So an excellent winners bracket final here. And honestly, 2 of probably the best teams out of the qualifiers, without a doubt. We could maybe say there's maybe a little bit of an upset with the Rexars versus Blue Dingle Balls, but in the end, we're here today. And I mean, I'm looking for a fantastic series. Dawn have been playing absolutely fantastic, and Blue Dingle Balls, I mean, a real sort of surprise in the tournament, I have to say. And it's looking forward to a great series, to say the least.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with you there. I mean, now you look at the lineup here of Blue Dingo Balls, whatever. Anyways, they are a U.S. West team. That's first off key to note here. But again, you got some player names here. You got like Swiftflame, Drents, Beaverbanger, Resher even. You might. Okay, Beaverbanger's not actually here today, but anyways, some of these names you definitely probably recognize. And again, I really liked reiterating that point that just because you don't recognize a team name doesn't mean they actually aren't good players. And obviously, this is a perfect example right here. Hell, on both sides of the table. Now, with that said, when it comes to Dawn, on the other hand, I think you were kind of in the same boat, at least initially. Didn't really know too much about these guys, but we've kind of been learning a little bit more as this event has been going on here. And again, it's very impressive play, especially from them. If I had to choose a team going into this one, just because of what we've seen so far, maybe it would be Dawn, but really am expecting a great best out of 3 in the end, of course. But we're advancing on here pretty quickly with that said. So real quick, the initial bans, it was I have Tremble and Gemini, and then it was also Parasite and Cthulhu. So again, just seeing these kind of bands. Gemini, though, most certainly the one that kind of stands out there.
Well, that was obviously because of you know, the insanely well played Gemini coming out from the last game, but that was actually coming from Beaverbank, who isn't here today. So maybe, you know, Dawn doing a little bit of their research, but probably not enough, because obviously Beaverbank isn't been playing this game at the moment, which does leave Silhouette open. They are right-clicking it, and I mean, I don't see why not. I think the hero's fantastically good. I mean, we have seen it a little bit, but I honestly thought it was going to be a lot more blind band a lot more often, but in the end, it's still open here. But they're still waiting to think, or to waiting to pick up their third pick here. But I think Silhouette would be a good choice without a doubt. Yeah,
get their carry option out of the way. No, they go complete opposite, really. They actually go Empath. Another support option to go with that Engineer. So they just wanted to kind of secure that going into the bans here instead. So yeah, they're just fine leaving Silhouette, and possibly even could be banned here now.
The only problem I have with, I mean, I don't mind them not picking up Silhouette there. That's fine. I mean, if they don't want to pick up Silhouette, that's all good. That's dependent on the team. The only issue I have is picking up the secondary support before the second banning phase, because now it obviously screams that they're not big going to pick up a jungle player or a jungle hero. Excuse me. So as a result, Legion can really draft quite differently because of that. Because you pick up the secondary support that early on, then it kind of says what you're going to do. Obviously, most likely tri lane, especially with the Empath and Engineer, good tri lanes without a doubt. So as a result, I think Legion can have a real good draft here in the last few bans and picks.
Yeah, no, I definitely see where you're coming from there. I mean, almost kind of framing a little bit, giving the information necessary to Dawn to be like, okay, well, they're definitely not going to be doing this, so well, let's see how that maybe changes things up for them. But they got their own jungler, of course, in that Ophelia, obviously Parasite banned, and I want to say, were they the ones that ran Ophelia last time too? Again, we've had several matches here. Were they? Okay.
Yeah.
So clearly a comfort hero for them, and again, for the most part, Ophelia maybe not as popular anymore for obvious reasons once again, but they still like to run her. And going to be seen here. So, bans continuing. Only one more ban on either side. Flux, Mage Bane, Swiftblade, Puppet Master. Yeah, remember that Mage Bane game. That is right. He had a great time, obviously, for Dawn when he was played by them. There's the Silhouette bans. A lot of carries by either side here being taken out. So, but that was a great point you brought up about the Gemini. I really think that's what it came down to. Like, Dawn, they did the research, but not enough because, Beaverbanger not here. He was the one that really played it well. No, that's not to say, no one else on their team could play it well, but you're pretty sure they're probably reacting to that. So, a lot of carries, though, man. Moon Queen even taken out to finish things off. There's Madman, though.
It is carries calling and patch, and I guess that's what's happening right now. I mean, all the other heroes that have been banned out, or used to be banned out, like the Drunken Master, like like the Keeper, like the Soulset, all these heroes that are not even touched, like the Raven or the Gauntlet, the Kraken, like all the sort of big mid initiators have been completely ignored now. It's all about the carries, which I think obviously tends to maybe a bit more of an exciting game, or at least a bit of a change without a doubt, because obviously we've had the sort of mid game push and team fight meta for a while now. And so we're seeing the ushering in of a bit more carry presence. That being said, there's a lot of carries that have been banned out that are kind of the norm. So I think if we are going to see some carries, they are going to be a little bit different. I guess Dr. Repulsor is not so that much big of a difference, but in the end they could still pick up another carry player if they wanted.
Yeah, as far as the run to get here, I was kind of just quickly going back to look at that for both these teams. In fact, specifically Blue Dingo Balls here. They had to defeat some decent teams, most certainly, as you would expect, obviously being in the Winter Bracket Finals. But Crave was one of them, and that's a solid team. Again, you're probably not going to recognize the name, but they got players like President 25 on their roster. A solid team there. You Love to Party, you might recognize that name. We've casted them before in past seasons. They went 2-0 against them. And then, of course, just most recently beating Rexars even to get to this point. 2 games still won. It's a very, very deservingly so. Don, on the other hand, of course, over Moe's Tavern. They also took out Vodka Gaming, which actually has a solid roster. And then, of course, Instant Reflex, the great Instant Reflex, unfortunately fell to Don right there. So kind of just a quick overview as far as how these teams have gotten here and some opponents that they matched up with. But anyways, Bloodhunter coming out now. I'm looking at that pick just before that. Dr. Repulsor picked up. Bloodhunter's a pretty solid counter for Dr. Repulsor.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Dr. Repulsor can be so scary. I mean, he has one of the strongest or highest win percentages, and yet Bloodhunter is almost a complete counter. I mean, how long is that silence? I think it's like 9 seconds. That's a lot of silence potential, and that sort of completely nullifies Dr. Repulsor. He requires a lot of low CD cooldowns to really get his damage put out. And if Bloodhunter can just put a silence and ulti on him, he's completely useless. So an absolute great pick or counter pick to this Dr. Repulsor. And Bloodhunter again, one of these sort of signature heroes on Certes. I know he plays, obviously we saw the Oogie last time, the Matron before that. I mean, these are the heroes that you do not want to give him because he can be deadly scary with him. So we'll have to see in the series breaking because it's just about to begin.
There we go. Game number 1 going to be kicking off right here in this best out of 3. Once again, a trip to the Diamond Division is on the line here. And now if you lose, you still have a chance, but obviously, you'd rather just get business taken care of. And also, getting from this point will put you in the Grand Finals on the winner record advantage. And, ultimately at that point, the Grand Finals not necessarily meaning a whole lot, but it still does mean, well, the pride thing, but also a little bit of points as well as seeding difference going into the initial Diamond cycle. So, again, a lot of things kind of lining up here. But the big point is, again, to win here, you make Diamond. That's ultimately what matters, of course. So, Rally, that final pick, by the way, coming out here from the Hellborn team now, it's a mix of, it gives them a little bit of physical presence. It also kind of brings the very possible tri-lane together. I mean, I'm looking at this lineup. Is there a question that it's going to be a tri-lane, or could you see them maybe doing a dual-lane Doctor here?
I don't know, because I think it would make most sense if they did run the tri-lane, say, with the Rally. But at the same time, I mean, it's most likely just going to be that Dawn's just going to sort of dodge jungles with the Ophelia and then maybe just send the Bloodhunter against it. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the strongest escape mechanism, but at the same time, I don't think Hellborn can really sort of kill this Bloodhunter over and over again unless he sort of is out of position. And so in that sense, it's kind of hard what they need to do, because I said before, I mean, they might even put the Madman down bottom, which are the most definitely won't kill. And in that sense, they might actually have to dual lane Doctor, which in the end isn't the baddest or the worst thing. I mean, you see it in Team M quite a lot actually nowadays. Sort of trying to give it as much farm onto Dr. Repulsor as possible. Yeah, he may prefer to be in a solo lane, but at the same time, giving him absolute free farm isn't the worst thing to happen.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see how that ultimately does play out there. You see Quincy giving us some player stats here. Now, again, on the side of the Hellborn team, I want to say, some of these players even played for The Last of Us, if I'm not mistaken. Throughout the Carnage Caldivar, so that's probably where it's safe to say a majority of those games, if not all those games, stats are kind of coming from there. Of course, The Last of Us, that is going to be interesting. Okay, Drenson Swiftlane did, yeah, making a point there. They definitely had some roster issues. It's going to be interesting to see what they ultimately come up with for their 5. I mean, altogether, I mean, really, all 6 teams that are even already in Diamond, I mean, maybe outside of Sync, I mean, even BMG we're not even 100% sure as we were talking about. As far as who their ultimate 5th is going to be. Obviously, Xibe is the big talk, but, we will have to wait and see. To be official, again, next weekend when Cycle 1 does kick off for Han Tours Season number 3. Yeah, I did just clarify that as well. Again, I was Want to make sure on that. I've been saying that and everything. I was like, wait, does Cycle 1 actually start next weekend? Yeah, of course it does. So, yeah, that will be starting next weekend. Again, it's a 2-weekend thing. And I really do like the format this time around with that said as well. We got basically the 2 weekends like the previous cycles were, so that's no different than the length it lasts. But then, well, first off, also only being 8 teams instead of 16. I mean, I love that. It really makes a point even from the get-go that you're going to have some very solid matches in that first round, and it makes it even a little bit more prestige as far as being in Diamond. But then also there's the week break after each cycle. So, and then with the week break, not only does it give teams kind of a chance to kind of regroup and, figure out once again, scrim a little bit, and maybe if some balance changes happen, I don't plan a lot to happen, of course, but, kind of regroup going into the next cycle. And then also I believe there's also plans to have, a kind of more of a fun tournament in between the weekends that are going to be off from Han Tour for a lot of the community to be a part of and everything. So, yeah, I definitely like that idea, and I'm looking forward to that taking place during this season here. So,
yeah, I think it's a good sort of bracket in its sense of sort of tournament structure, because obviously I know a lot of these players, including myself, that they work or they go to school, etc. And having that one little weekend break is nice, to do something outside of Hon, which is good. But at the same time, it also increases the chance of scrimmages and sort of making the last minute changes from the last sort of cycle going into cycle 2.
Absolutely.
Oh, Courier!
Oh, no. That would have been big.
Not again.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It is fine. It does make the getaway, but they didn't even use invulnerability, actually. So, but it is going to be fine.
You can't use invulnerability for the first 50 seconds of the game.
Oh, that's right. What am I saying? Yeah. That change happened a while ago, didn't it? So, yeah, it is fine, though. It does obviously use the speed burst and going to be able to get away right there. But, so again, the lanes. It looks like they are going to ultimately go with that kind of tri-lane setup here. We got Rally, Engineer, and Empath headed towards the bottom lane. You can tell Don is still really uncertain of exactly what they want to do. Okay, they are going to be sending Bloodhunter bottom here. It looks, maybe not. He's now going back up top. Not sure. I mean, Madman's already up here, so yeah, what am I saying? Madman's, he's way up here.
He's going to pull the lane, and it's actually a really, really clever thing to do with Poker of One, because, I mean, I don't know how much you sort of saw it in competitive mode before, or even on Honcast, but you can pull the lane and you can put it all the way behind the Tier 1 and Tier 2, but, I mean, after that sort of happened a lot in TMM, you'd have a lot of sort of, the carry players and sort of support players sort of standing around here blocking the potential pull, but as obviously they had vision, the whole of the Hellborn scene went into the enemy jungle. He can get off this pull quite easily, actually, and there's nothing the Doctor can do, which is going to actually secure him at quite a lot of farm. It's something we used to do in Instant Reflex. If ever the enemy team went as 5, the Suicide could get a free pull. If he's 1v1, this can help, or even 1v2, it can help him quite considerably. So you'll probably see Madman having a little bit of a better time. Actually, Empath is coming though, so.
Does he have the wall? Of course he does. Yeah, he blocks him off right there. Madman's like, are you kidding me? That kind of
no, don't go invest. No.
Yep, he de-aggroed right there.
That. Yeah, he was not going to die. Like, there's no need to do that, because now that kind of fucks up his lane completely even more. So, in the end, there's a little bit. Look at Doctor Repulsor. He's just going to hold the creep wave. Whereas if he actually went on, he still could have pulled the wave, and he would have got the lane experience or the lane control. But in the end, he did not. Yeah. But not the biggest of deals. He's still 1v1, so he's still going to obviously get XP. Just a little bit of sort of effort just not happening in the end. It looks like it's going to be Empath and Bubbles middle. No, Empath is rotating bottom at least, but at the same time, I mean, they haven't blocked Ophelia's jungle, so she's going to have still quite a big presence even in her own jungle, and she's looking to sort of set up a gank already at level 1. And Dawn's one of those teams that really likes to get aggressive super, super early on. I think I mentioned before when we cast him that they love to get ganks off so quickly and so early, and he's actually running bottom right now. Yeah, we saw beautiful play out of these guys in their semifinal matchup. We're looking forward to seeing if that happens again, and they're definitely going to need that if they want to go into the Diamond Division. Here comes a Minotaur, going to cut somebody off. Who they're going to go for? Silence applied to Rally. There's a stun. Not really the most follow-up, though. I mean, they really wanted Engineer, but now actually Ophelia's in trouble. Yeah, Empath coming in for the side. Ophelia knows it. She says, screw going for the kill, but she does not get it. The Engineer keg stun hits, and down falls Ophelia. So Duran's good cutoff from Empath right there, coming in at the right place at the right time. They really wanted Engineer, but he was doing a good job of making sure he wasn't in the best spot to be gone on. So kind of backfired right there. Yeah, and just great rotation coming out from the dual supports, and that's what I said you need to do. If you're dual supports, you're not going to be getting a lot of farm because there's no way of doing that. So you need to make sure you're getting kills, and getting a kill off straight off and straight early is is a perfect sign for them.
You can see another Volt de Pause coming out here, so already a couple pauses here to start things off. Maybe some, I mean, hopefully, if anything, it may be just a personal issue, you know, something coming out answering the door or something. So, internet issues or computer issues where it's like, God, we have to deal with that. So, but hopefully not too much longer. Oh, well, spoke too soon, I guess.
There's your answer.
There you go. Time's out. So, yeah, it looks like, yeah, Torture is heading back to base. And it's one of those cases, you know, it's a little unfortunate. Sure, he's not in the lane right now to be able to help out Magnus. But, you know, he is reconnecting, and what's done is done. You know, go back into it. And going to be fine, I'm sure. So how is farm going across the board, though, now? Let's take a closer look at it. We are in this pause. The bottom lane, Bloodhunter, you know, 6-1. He has that feast, of course, to be able to activate to get an instant creep kill. So that, of course, helps. In the meantime, though, Rally 9-4. Not surprising to see him having a good advantage, although it's not maybe as high as I almost would I mean, yeah, it's still very early on, so I guess I can't really look too much into that, but he is doing very well down here. So about Bloodhunter, again, he needs to be careful. Oh, the Rally Compel just misses.
Oh, top lane.
They were going for a top lane. Oh, Dr. Pulsar is in trouble. Here comes that Minotaur. Obviously, he doesn't have that ludicrous speed just yet. The Minotaur, can he get a range for the stun? Yes, he can. There's a stun. Madman coming in with the stock. Does not have mana for the barrel roll, though. That could be the difference maker, but look at the Minotaur blocking. Madman, he kind of turns around. Dr. Pulsar does have his Electric Frenzy, and actually it is going to be enough to keep him alive in terms of just, well, running to the tower right there, so... Good attempt with the Minotaur, but yeah, not having enough mana for the barrel roll follow-up, I think, pretty much kept him alive right there.
Yeah, and that's why he was so close away from his ball. He's got it now. He's going to be delivering it on Courier. I mean, you could arguably have said maybe, you know, Affiliate should have waited, but at the same time, I mean, this is sort of the team that doesn't like to wait. They want to go gank straight away and all the time. And he might even be going again, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they even try and dive the tower. I mean, Doctor Repulsor is so vulnerable before level 6, and there's no way, you know, the enemy team's going to have any kind of TP rotations at this early on in the game. So
yeah. Now would be the time, but yeah, playing just to continue to go in the lane and do their thing. You see, speaking of that, Torture boxing up Bubbles quite a bit, but speaking of the middle lane, here we go. Empath and Engineer heading in with the flank. They're not going to be spotted. I don't think they were. Maybe they were. I mean, the ward of sight is there. And if anything, they might have just saw a little bit of them. And yeah, I mean, they're clearly reacting to something right here. So yeah, in the end, they're going to be spot. Empath was like, okay, something must be up. She has a Rev Ward. Is she going to counter right here is my guess. Maybe not, actually. But middle lane, here we go. Magnus stuns it on a Bobbles. The chain reactions follow the Vagabond leader nuke even coming out. Ophelia nuke as well, but no! Bobbles will survive. The health potion going to be taken off. But the quick Shell Surf on top of the take cover. The Vagabond, nope, take cover. The auto cast, OP. Going to be just fine. But yeah, bottom lane, yeah, Bloodhunter, he is in trouble. Puts the silence out. But that's probably just going to delay the inevitable, if anything. He will fall when it's all said and done. So 3 heroes collapsing onto him. So clearly he was just pushing up a little bit right there. But the roaming support coming in and doing work right there. And another kill for the Hellborn team.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Hellborn need to do because, like I said before, I mean, obviously they're not running the jungler, so you know the longer it goes on, it's going to be worse for them unless they get these kills, and they keep getting these kills, particularly in the bottom lane. Actually, so great rotation coming out from Drents, securing that kill. But for Legion, though, still not looking too bad though because they still have Affiliate farming, albeit not very well. Only level 2 at the moment, but she has tried to get some ganks off mid, top, and bottom. So maybe she's going to maybe focus on farming a little bit more to try and get back into the game.
Yeah. Madman getting that bottle, using it. Of course, that's a double damage ring as well. Torture going to be assisting with him. The question is, can Torture get close enough for the chain reaction stun to set something up ultimately? He might not even need it, actually. Yeah, he doesn't even need it. The auto attack's going to be way too much. Chain reactions comes in anyways. And Torture actually even, in a sense, takes the kill from Madman. But hey, better be safe than sorry, as they got the kill when it's all said and done. So, yeah, this long lane Madman, I mean, it's kind of hard calling it a true suicide Madman, because really it has been a 1v1 for the most part. But that's a big kill happening right there. And now he's about 238 gold for him, 245 even. And that's much higher than Dr. Repulsor, especially after that death. So, yeah, if you're this Hellborn side, I'm sure Rally is going to be that key of like, okay, get level 6. You know, he's got his Steam Boots already. He's having some decent farm. But, yeah, I think it's you want him to start moving for this Hellborn side?
I mean, yes and no. Because, I mean, I think he needs to get a little bit more farm, maybe a little bit more levels, and then that could help him gank a lot better. But at the same time, Legion are just always ganking all the time, so it's hard to get his sort of boundaries for it as well at the same time.
No, we'll see if that ultimately happens or not. But Ophelia continues to be in the aggressive jungle, and he's only level 3 still. So, well, as I say that, he hits level 4 actually, so good for him. It does have a Catman champion nearby, but I don't know if they're going to get an angle right here to be able to set anything up. Empath is coming over, but they do have a Ward of Sight. To see that she might have been running into some danger, so not the biggest scare right there in Empath, or excuse me, Ophelia will continue to farm, but now Ophelia is the one that needs to be careful. There's a beautiful wall off right there. Engineer going to come in with the flank. The turret comes out. It's not going to hit Ophelia, though. Dr. Pulsar flies in. He's already on half mana, but it's not going to matter. Ophelia will fall. Madman coming in, going for a responsive act while they're doing it to block it. Nice nuke coming out. Torture joins the party as well, and now here's Magnus. Dr. Pulsar's going to fall. A 2-for-1 exchange. And they still are going to chase. Magnus has another stun coming up in 3 seconds. He had to dodge the keg right there. And I think Engineer will be fine when it's all said and done. But beautiful turnaround coming out from the Legion side.
Yeah, and I mean, I can say what Hellborn are trying to do. They're trying to gank a lot more, but I think the rotation from Legion is just so good. I mean, every little gank and sort of advantage Hellborn are getting, Legion are just sort of capitalizing and just trading just that little bit better. And as a result, I mean, although the hero kills are equal, they still have that jungle factor. And as a result, I mean, just about out-leveraging the Engineer and keeping the golden XP just above Hellborn at the moment.
Yeah, I really am loving these stats. As actually bottom lane, Dr. Pulsar, yep, he's going to be going in. Blood Hunter! They takes a... Was that... Did that hit?
He missed. No, he missed, because Doctor pulled him back.
I think the keg sen even pushed him back or something. But he took a lot of damage somewhere. But he's dead. That's what matters. So let's not look into it too much. But yeah, he gets killed. And obviously Dr. Pulsar. So making a point of like, okay, top lane's not going the best. I'm going to port bottom, be of assistance, and that he does. But as I was just about to say before that happened, I mean, great stat by Quincy right there. And, you know, loving these more and more because it really does give you, it really does relate very well. Like, we talk about the snowball effect. Doctor's one of these kind of snowball heroes. A stat right there is a perfect example of how you're not going to have a good time if you don't snowball with this hero. Not the best at recovery. You don't pick up this hero to be like, okay, bad start, I'm just going to recover and be fine. I mean, sure, it's only 3 games in the end, but, again, enough to kind of back that up that you want Dr. Pulsar to have a good time, and a good start especially if he's on your team. In the Legion jungle right here, compel onto Engineer to save him initially. Will it be the end result? Engineer, nice dodge on the chain reactions. It does force him to take more damage. The auto tech will finish him off, but here we go. Big team fight ensuing. Bubbles gets done in the background. He cannot shell support as a result. Don't know if he's planning on it, but actually he gets damaged down on the port back actually on a torture just in time as well to get him regen. So Legion team coming out big time on that middle fight. More so the bottom rune area. 9 minutes in now, a 6-4 hero kill advantage. Dawn really starting to get their movement going here.
Yeah, and I honestly think it's because Dawn are just you know, committing that one extra or one or two extra plays. Actually, Empath might be in trouble as well.
There's a Lava Surge stun. Madman's like, I got the rest of it. As actually Magnus even gets credit for the kill, but yeah, Empath just simply getting caught out. And again, the aggressive nature of Dawn has really come to fruition here.
Yeah, but going back to, I mean, I just think Dawn just have that one extra player taking these engagements, and as a result, they come out so far ahead. Actually, middle lane, Magnus is going to try and get this tower, but Hellborn not contesting.
Might come at a cost? No, he's going to be fine for the time being. Yeah, he wants it, but he's like, I'm not range. I can't do it. Yeah, it's not going to happen, Magnus. A good deny coming out from the Hellborn side. Good patience on their part. This is looking like a collapse, though, of some kind. Those are just illusions there, so never mind. I'm almost looking on the mini-map that they were going to collapse on Engineer, but not so much. Instead of triple stack.
But yeah, going back to all these engagements, Dawn just keep on taking those engagements, and they just always have the numbers advantage. They're always there as 5, and the thing that really sort of almost mimics this team is BMG. They always seem to do that. I mean, and this is the team I really do sort of link them with because they always get aggressive like BMG. Actually, middle lane, Bubbles. Yeah,
Bubbles, he is, well, dead. It's a simple way to put it. I mean, we talk about it. Bloodhunter's a great counter to hero like Doctor for the Silence especially. Bubbles another one of those cases. I mean, obviously Silence in general is going to be so powerful against many heroes, but for the popular heroes we do see every now and then, and Bubbles is most certainly on that list, he does not like going up against Bloodhunter. So that Silence is just annoying to deal with. Even at level 1, you talked about level 4, 9 seconds. Even at level 1, it's 6 seconds. I mean, that in itself is, again, ridiculous. So no chance for Bubbles, and now here's the bottom lane push going to be coming from Dawn. So again, it's from the transition, and pretty fluid right here, from the ganking stage, you know, moving around a bit, getting kills, and now here comes the group up, and let's push. We got Ophelia level 5, so not level 6 just yet, but still. Level 5 has the 2 creeps as a result in the double Minotaur, and they're going to be pushing bottom lane here.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. Like, they do kind of mimic BMG. Like, you can get that kind of feel, can't you? Like, they're really aggressive, and then when they do that, they sort of take the advantage from the kills, and then as a result, try and push their advantage as a team. And I mean, as a result, they are playing very, very well, and as a result, they've had a lot of success with this kind of style of play. Yeah. So I kind of almost view them as like a mini BMG almost.
Really, and they like I said, it's fun seeing these different and new teams, especially such as a team like Dawn, and deserving of the attention. This is their chance to shine with Hot Tour Season 3, with going into a new season through these qualifiers and eventually into the Diamond if they qualify for that at this point, which again, so far it's looking pretty solid for them up in Game 1 in this best out of 3. Portal key picked up by Magnus right there from the side shop. Oh, this could get ugly for the Hellborn side if they're not careful. There's the portal key. Is Rally. He's going to take intense damage off the bat. No support to come. And Rally will fall when it's all said and done. So I love that. The immediate buy of the portal key and the immediate use of it to follow. It's always good to see. Coming up,
yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get this tier 2 as well, because Rally's there for 20 seconds. And like Engineer's not even level 6, so I mean, them trying to take a team fight it just almost seems impossible. They are going to try and slow it down with like the Engineer turret and bubbles, but in the end, I think this tower is going to be falling already. Only 13 minutes in.
Yeah, 51% farming efficiency right now for the Hellborn team. Again, Quincy kind of clarifying what that really means, just the overall potential goal that you could farm in the game. I think around 70% or so is pretty solid. In the end, 65 to 70%. So yeah, being at 51%, not too good. 74% on the other hand, very effective for our Legion team. So a secondary tower already going down. Ophelia, yeah, kind of still hanging around. Probably not the best decision. I just want to say this is a case of, you know what, just kill me. Gold. He didn't spend his gold though, so not so much. I mean, he was just simply hanging around. Not sure about that.
And one sort of, I don't really like that kind of play there, because I think if he kept on running, I'm pretty sure Belvers would have used the Kelt for enough. I mean, this is a while ago, but I mean, Belvers did get a nerf to his Kelt for making his cooldown just a lot longer, actually, for his level 1, 115 seconds. And I mean, to get Belvers to use the Kelt for is still quite big of a deal, so I'd like to see him just run, even buy his gold as well, but in the end, trying to man up and failed as a result.
Oh, he gets up, he buys a bracer here, so of course on the way to an Astrolabe, but will be delayed a little bit longer now because of that silly death right there on his part. In the meantime, the Hellborn team also not only going off that kill, but they're doing triple stack Ancients, and you do see that gold and experience, gold more so especially, kind of closing a little bit right here. It's still obviously well in favor of Dom, but actually Madman's going to be coming in now. Revvord is spotting him. He needs to be another Revvord in the background. Oh no, Madman, they're okay. They're all running. This Madman is, well, he's scary apparently. They have all those Revvords. I mean, 100% they see him, but
I'm pretty sure they expect more as well, maybe. I mean, they don't actually see Legion on the map, so I guess they're just scared to engage. But yeah, it's kind of scary. I mean, they do have like Magnus Portal Key, which is understandable, so they don't want to sort of engage, even if they are quite far away. Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of weird seeing them all run away from a single Madman.
Well, I mean, it's one of those situations as a spectator. Again, we got the God Vision, so it's easy for us to sit here saying, well, just go on in. But at the same time, you know, if Magnus was in the background and they did go in and Magnus jumped in and killed them all, we'd be like, oh, you got to expect that, you know? So it's I can respect what they did right there is what I'm getting at. Just fine. But speaking of triple stack Ancients, the Legion side was going to do a set of their own and kind of spreading the farm a little bit. By the way, Bloodhunter going the Firebrand choice here. First off. So, you like that decision?
Yeah, I mean, normally you actually see Bloodhunter goes Energizer because he sort of needs that build-up. I mean, at the moment, he's only 1,000 HP, and there's a lot of burst potential, like with the Rallier and the Bubbles. But I guess, I mean, he didn't have the greatest farm either. I mean, although he's 300 GPM, but I guess he just didn't want the build-up for Energizer, and it makes sense, though. Wants to sort of rush to the sort of later game items, and yeah, it makes sense. I mean, there's no sort of quote-unquote the perfect item build for Bloodhunter. I think it sort of just depends what kind of item build you want to do. Yeah. And Certes is one of those players that, you know, he picks the item builds he thinks is right. I mean, we saw like the Elder Parasite and Major. It's like we've never seen before. So don't expect the quote-unquote normal builds from him. That's right. Yeah, that is Certes, isn't it? He's going to kind of. I have a feeling throughout this Hunter Season 3 that he may be one of those carry players that's like, you know, becomes more and more fun to watch because of both the item builds and just pretty damn good at it in the end. So, of course, again, they have to qualify for Diamond first, but getting ahead of myself maybe. But, yeah, that was fun to watch. So, yeah, we'll see what he does eventually evolve into here with that initial Firebrand purchase. But bottom lane, you see the Hellborn team, and look at Dr. Polster. He actually is at 300 gold per minute right now, at least just about. So going to group up with the team right here.
And they're going to look to take out a tower. So, I mean, Blue Dingo Balls here, I mean, they did a decent job of kind of calming things down and slowing it down, you know, getting Dr. Pulse to that farm, rally. He's on his way to a portal key. Yeah, 2,000 gold saved up. So there are pluses here for the Hellborn side. But no doubt the advantage continuing to look strong for Dawn in terms of where they're at. So are they going to keep this push going is another question here. Rally already ported back, so this is pretty risky probably. Kind of keep this going. Yeah, Doctor's like, okay, let's start falling back. Ophelia's going to start cutting them off, but Doctor with that ultimate especially, he's just going to port out. And he's going to be fine. So, gank attempt, unsuccessful, but it will scare them off. And now they can just push back here at the bottom side. So kind of roaming around the middle right here, seeing if they can find an opportunity. Maybe the Doctor, here we go, does a stun-in. Expect the silence to follow. Eruption got him. No, couldn't silence in time! He's able to pull him in couldn't the Capella as well, and Magnus left to fend for himself. Oh boy, communication not 100% right there.
Yeah, but I mean that's a really, really rare sort of bad communication and bad coordination. Honestly, normally Dawn, their sort of communication and coordination just seems so perfect, but in that instance, yeah, Bloodhunt was just a little bit slow, and as a result, cost Magnus his life, and this is going to cost them the tier 1 tower as well. That's going to bring Hellborn right back into this game actually. They were really lacking in terms of golden XP. The denied just about missed from the Skeleton King from Ophelia. That was very, very close. But yeah, the only issues actually for Hellborn though is that, I mean, I don't think they have the strongest sort of team fight composition in terms of heroes anyway, and at the same time they're behind on golden XP, so the team fight's going to be even harder to take. But after that, obviously it's going to give them a lot more hope to get back into this game.
Yeah.
Doctor's Iron Build though, it looks like he's going to go for a Shrunken Head, which is, I definitely do understand, because I mean, there's a lot of team fight going on at the moment, but I hate to see this kind of Iron Build, because whenever you build first item Shrunken on Doctor Repulsor, you have absolutely no mana at all. I mean, you lose mana in the first 5 seconds of using your spells. That's what you really do need, like the Grim or the Nullstone, that kind of mana regen, and just the increase of max mana altogether, really. Yeah. But at the same time, if he doesn't pick up the Shrunken Head, he's going to get absolutely destroyed by the Blood Hunter Silence, by the stun from Magnus, the Torturer, and even the Madman per se. So I can really understand it. It's just it's caught in a rock and a hard place at the moment. Yeah, no,
it definitely is one of those very tough decisions. But you know, he is going to be on the Shrunken Head. So again, that farm though going to be weakened. But hey, if it keeps him alive and it allows him to pick up a couple of kills here and there in the fights, then by all means, once he gets the Shrunken Head, and then that could quickly follow up with that necessary item, such as the Hellflower or whatever else is to follow there. But you do see the Legion team, again, they're living by this gank and, you know, kind of shooting themselves in the foot last time, but, you know, the last thing you want to do is kind of let that scare you from continuing to go for it. And I don't think they're necessarily letting that happen, as you see Madman being pretty aggressive right here once again. He is currently in the Hellborn jungle. And actually may spot out this Doctor Repulsor. Torturer coming in. Will they be able to stun him in time? It's always the question with Doctor. No, they cannot. And he's going to port out as he laughs in their face. So, it's so frustrating playing against Doctor for that exact reason right there. If you don't have the stun initially, then he's like, see ya. And the quick getaway. So, that's huge. I mean, because not only does he get away, but a lot of resources were kind of used right there. Ultimately, 4 heroes were making their way up there.
Middle lane.
To go for that kill. Yeah, you do see Ophelia now going to the middle lane, but the turret comes out, and that's going to kind of block them off, if anything. So, no go here in the middle lane either. And I believe I just saw Frostburn purchased by Certus here, playing the Bloodhunter, by the way. So, nice brain coming out.
It's not too bad item build, to be honest. I mean, well, it's one of those items before I said, like, with Bloodhunter, there's no sort of set item build. I think it's just the way he prefers to play him. Dawnbringer is not too bad on Certes, and I guess they just want to sort of have like an item that has their name in it as well, so that's probably a main reason why they picked it up. I'm just joking, but Dawnbringer, Dawn, you know, but just, yeah, it's not a bad item in the end.
Yeah, so we'll see how that works out for him again. Yeah, Dawnbringer, from my name, like the Nox style, coming out here. So, see, is continuing to farm away in the Hellborn jungle, but, I mean, speaking of that, you look at the Hellborn team right now, they're kind of all 5 together. Off into the side over here, just playing it pretty safe. But I will say it's been working out for them. They've been playing it safe but smart at the same time. I mean,
and look at that stat as well. It definitely sort of shows. I mean, before it was like 50% in terms of efficiency, and just slowing down the game. Actually, they are farming a lot more efficiently, because at the same time, I've seen Legion have been sort of grouping as 5 and haven't been farming all too well, and Hellborn have just been dodging them. I mean, you've got Doctor's Shrunken Head now. Bubble's got his portal key, And Empath is closing in on an Astrolabe as well, actually. So them sort of slowing down the game has really helped them get back into this game. Now they're only 3,500 gold left and 2,000 experience, which is kind of like negligible in terms of sort of the state of the game right now. So I mean, one team fight could be all the difference, you know, to sort of swing either team into the lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think in these next couple of minutes, we're really going to see a lot, mainly because Dr. Repulsor just got his Shrunken Head. Again, it's not the farming tool necessarily, but it is a great fighting tool for him. What he's, you know, whether it's him expecting fights to happen, as it's kind of been the case from this Legion team, or if they're now going to look to be aggressive. I mean, well, let me ask you, should they, because he did go that Shrunken Head choice, should they try to force things now, force fights, force ganks?
The only they're kind of caught in a rock and a hard place, because at the same time, yeah, he's picked up the Shrunken. They should definitely fight, because, you know, if they're not fighting, then why didn't you pick up like a Grimmer of Power? It's sort of saying that sort of increase your farming. But at the same time, I don't think they can even take team fights. Yeah, they picked up the Shrunken Head on Doctor, but look at the team fight potential. They've got Ophelia Astrolabe. That's one thing that's incredibly strong. Then they've got the Magma's Portal Kit, and even Madman's closing in on his Shrunken. And their team fight is so strong, and at the same time, Hellborn's team fight isn't the strongest per se. Yeah, they do have like the Engineer and the Rally, but I just think Legions is just like a little bit stronger. But at the same time, I think they might have to team fight in the sense of Legion are looking to sort of push here in the middle lane.
Yeah, very, very close to an engagement right there, but obviously the getaway happens, and so no fight to be had. But here we go, middle lane, pushing up a little bit here is the Legion side. You got Bloodhunter, another 1,000 gold saved up with the Frostburn purchase, but no, doesn't look like they're going to go any further. Madman ports top, as of course, understandably so. I mean, he's trying to work on his own Shrunken Head here for the time being. He's 0-0-8, by the way. Always a fun stat line to see like that coming out from Madman. But hey, 8 assists, no deaths. He'll take that. 314 gold per minute here, so not doing too shabby here. Again, suicide technically, I guess, but was more that 1v1 against Doctor at the beginning of the game. At that long lane. But Engineer going play to Greaves, by the way. You know, we were talking about the last series especially, the lack of kind of team support items coming out really on both the team sides. Engineer making sure that's taken care of, at least initially here, for his team as well. So good to see with the plated Greaves pick up. You got Bubbles, obviously Portal Key, another 1,100 gold saved up, so he too is coming along just fine. There's the Shrunken Head purchase, though. On Madman. And speaking of plated Greaves, actually Ophelia kind of gets a pair of her own right there. So haven't had action here for a while. I mean, this game started pretty intense, but for these last really 5, maybe even closer to 10 minutes now, it's been dying off quite a bit.
And the reason why this has happened, though, is because if you look at Legion, yeah, I mean, they have been pushing quite a bit because they've got the Ophelia, but at the same time, they don't have like an all-in sort of stay green or BMG sort of style of team push. They've got like late-game heroes like the Madman, even like the Bloodhunter. So there's sort of no rush to sort of push it and make a team fight happen. And at the same time, Hellborn don't have the strongest team fight. Actually, they're going in right now.
Big line stuff from Rally. The counter, though, from Magnus coming out. Ophelia gets taken out, though, right off the bat. So does Torturer. The follow-up is here. Here comes Rally. Another Compel Stone. Magnus will fall. The Minotaur's done. Not going to really hit right there. Rally is dropping low. He's going for the TP. He says, I got to get out of here. No, you wait, says Bloodhunter. Takes him out. Madman also assisting, but now Madman in trouble. Dr. Repulsor following Empath inside. Madman will barely stay alive. Doctor is nearly out of mana. Bloodhunter beating on him. If he gets a kill, he's going to heal right back up, remember. Here comes a Saga to see, though, from Bubbles. Cancels the eruption, and that was huge because that was a guaranteed kill. He missed the stun as well. Magnus, not his day right here. Labyrinth, he needs to fall back. That he does. The Hellborn team will also retreat in the meantime, and the fight will actually end with less casualties than he may have expected. Magnus, no.
A trade. Yeah, it's because Magnus actually brought back in that fight.
Yeah.
And such a great line stun coming from Rally. Catches 3 people instantly. And look at the gold lead. Yeah, I mean, the gold lead has reduced, but the experience lead has reduced significantly now. It's almost completely nil either side. And great team fight coming out from Hellborn. I think the only way they could have really won that team fight is if they got amazing initiation. And they did. So, you know, all thanks to Rally catching all those 3 heroes into that one line. But then at the same time, I mean, it's a great wall placed by Drents actually to sort of spot that. So, yeah, good play coming out from the Empath and Rally in that instance.
Yeah, that's the god initiation that you're looking for, at least up there, as far as what's realistic in these games. So, yeah, big initiation from Swift Flame, and most certainly the most impactful thing about that fight. So, yeah, the buyback on Magnus, I mean, he already has a Portal Key and even a tablet for that matter, so it's really not the biggest deal in the world that it really didn't have the, best response. I mean, if anything, I guess it did help keep Madman alive, which is, of course, a good thing in the way that fight ended. But, you know, it's all said and done, like I said. He's farming very well, 315 gold per minute, and he's got his core item, so looking good there. Now, Bloodhunter is going to be going for a Shrunken Head himself. Maybe he almost even realized that last fight that Kind of need that shrunken head to be able to be mobile in these team fights. That kind of speaks for itself. But, you know, this is what I was talking about earlier with the Doctor, sure, and you're kind of getting at, too, with the shrunken head. Yes, it's not the best farming tool. It's more of a fights are happening. I got to get this. Almost forced to get it because of that. But he's, you know, he didn't really drop off, which is very good news for him. He's now at 380 gold per minute. He has an Arcana. That alone is going to start bumping him up quite a bit. And, of course, once he finishes the full Hellflower, he'll be in a pretty good spot then.
Little lame. Invisible Blood Hunter.
Uh-oh. Engineer, he's like, how did you see me? You got a ward or something? Actually, the chain reactions miss. Okay, he's still going to fall right there. He was forced to use Hemorrhage, though, and that could cost him. Blood Hunter's trying to run away right here. Doctor, Poster, Combat, the Skeleton King, Shrunken Head is popped, though, in the background. Capfield comes out. They're going for the spark. Magnus with the eruptions down. Will it be enough? That was the question. There's the Ophelia's touch. Bubbles does go down. Blood Hunter's back, baby. And he's putting in the auto attacks. Rally the seismic slam in the face. Magnus does drop low. He does fall, but Rally will fall in the end as well. Hat-trick coming out for Doctor, though. But now he's worried about staying alive. He doesn't care about the quad kill. He needs to get the hell on out of here. Nope, silence comes out. There's the barrel roll. Hat-trick for Madman in response. And we could see a quad kill actually coming out. Engineer does come back up. Not in time, though. A quad kill for Poker of Wine after a hat-trick came out for Dr. Pulsar. What a fight, but it did come out in favor of Dawn right there.
Insane Magnus ultimate. He catch all 4 players in that stun ultimate. Insane turn coming out from Labyrinth from the Magnus. But I mean, at the same time, you could still quite fault Hellborn there. I mean, I think it was Engineer got picked up instantly. Okay, you lost the Engineer, but they all decided to TP in while Dawn were all sort of setting up as 5, and they went into the team fight 5v4. And I mean, just by numbers advantage, I mean, you're not going to win that team fight just because you had the lower numbers. And as a result, they didn't. But at the same time, I mean, they're not too far behind. They lost to Tier 2, only 5,000 gold and 3,000 experience. But again, though, you saw that the issue with Doctor have, though, he went in, he had 10 seconds of using his mana. By that time, he had all the mana out, and he couldn't add anything to the team fight. He sort of ran out of gas, and as a result, really did nothing into the team fight near the later stages of the game.
Yeah, going back to Magnus, too, I mean, the fact that he kind of redeemed himself, you can almost say. After the buyback, he missed a stun. It wasn't really going the prettiest. The fight didn't end horribly in the end, but, overall, it didn't play the best there. He definitely, like I said, redeemed himself there. So, very good news for him and also for the team as far as how that fight turned out. But, again, you look at the overall stats. This is not an overwhelming game even after that fight. Because still the Hellborn team in Blue Dingo Balls here, they got plenty of kills themselves, and Dr. Repulsor, in fact, does he have a second Arcana? No, something was delivered to him. I think maybe just a TP, but again, he's going to start continuing to farm once again, and on that way to the Hellfire. I will say, though, Mammoth just got his Brutalizer, and I mean, with a Shrunken Head Brutalizer, at level 16 especially, Mammoth is very, very scary when it comes to his damage output, so he has the ability to just right-click like a boss now. And that's not good news for the Hellborn team. And also the Shrunken Head finished on Blood Hunter, of course, another big thing for them. So Ophelia's still level 9. I will say that's kind of just continues to be somewhat of a downside here. And in fact, so you kind of compare Ophelia Torturer compared to Empath Engineer. The Hellborn supports maybe having a little bit better time, especially in the levels at least. When it comes to farm, I guess it's somewhat even. Empath maybe slightly ahead, but...
But at the same time, I still think I would prefer to have a level 9 or level 10 Ophelia than, say, like a level 8 Engineer or a level 11 Empath, to be honest. She offers that extra little bit in terms of the global heal, the pets, etc. So in that sense, yeah, she's lower level, but I think I prefer her than the other Hellborn supports.
See right there, triple, or I don't know if triple, maybe double, maybe triple. Anyways, yeah, I think it was triple. Anyways, Triple Stack Ancient's being taken out there by the Legion team. As Madman kind of leading the way with that. As the XP, I was looking at the XP, I thought he was 530 gold per minute. No, he's 388 gold per minute, though. But still, very, very respectable. He's top on his team. However, Doctor is top in the game. So, again, even though we went the Shrunken Head, he's still managing the top farm of the game now, again, with the 1 Arcane. I want to say he at least has 2 even.
I would like to see some, because I mean he suffers so much. So I mean, yeah, he picked up the Shrunken Head. He didn't die too quickly, and I think Shrunken Head was probably the way to go as well, maybe. But you saw how lacking of presence he had because he runs out of mana so quickly.
Yeah,
he's almost like he's like a massive Ferrari or Bugatti. He burns up so much fuel so quickly. He needs enough sort of fuel to really make a difference. And in these team fights. So the Hellflyer is going to make a massive difference. Maybe even a Nullstone or a Sheepstick, and then he'll be exactly where he needs to be.
Hellflyer's like the NOS for him right now, so yeah, no, he's good to go as far as that's concerned now. Yeah, how's the Hellflyer? Now, as you've mentioned, Knowles don't want to be out of the question, especially since that buff, even with the pattern now, 150 gold, still very, very worth it.
I would actually love to see Nullstone, because of that. I mean, if he can get it off, then the silence from Bloodhunter will be completely nullified. Actually, I think that's the biggest spell he wants to block. I mean, and even the hemorrhage. I mean, either one of Bloodhunter's spells is going to be completely perfect to block. Actually, so I'd actually like to see a Nullstone. I know it's a little bit later than we would usually see one, but I think it'd be perfect to see one right now.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be out of the question. So again, we'll see what the hell is his name? Cholo Simeon? Cholo Simeon.
I don't know. These names of players are so bad.
Name, yeah. Anyways, we'll see what he does eventually go for. Again, playing the Dr. Bolster here for his team. As far as the Legion side, once again, you got Bloodhunter, another 1,100 gold saved up, so add the Shrunken Head on top of the Frostburn. We'll see which route he goes to follow up that again against Certisk, one of those carry players that seems like any given Sunday he'll just go a completely different build from the last one. So can never be too sure when it comes to his decisions there as far as what he's going to be going for. So, yeah, Ophelia's not had the biggest impact this game, and she could use a bit more farm time. Yeah, not the best. Only 1 in 12 when she has a maximum of 250 gold per minute. Yeah, she's only at 200 gold per minute, so that definitely is a thing to keep in mind there for the Legion side. But, at the same time, like you're saying, the levels, I mean, she is level 11 now, so has that level 2 Ophelia touch. She's got the kind of core items with the Astrolabe and even the Ring of Sorcery to play to Grieve, so... and as long as she's good at microing those units, which it seems like she's been doing just fine, or he or whatever, it's good for the team in the end. But Kongor, and especially with the Madman, as we talk about, that Kongor's going to die quickly. And there you go. I'm a little surprised Bloodhunter didn't silence a Madman there to just make it even faster. But
no, I mean, if he silences Madman right there and they take a team fight, I mean, they're missing a lot. Actually, mid lane.
Yeah, they want to take a team fight still, apparently. Magnus goes in. He has to fall back, though, after the fact. Dr. Pulsar following up. Magnus just evaporates, but there is a second fight going on as Bloodhunter's chasing down Engineer. Energy Field as Yo's rallies now. Also in trouble. Bubbles jumps in very, very late right there. He can't shell surf. He tried to port, but the Skeleton King that kept him in place, and he falls as well. So they force a fight, and it pays off. But guess what? Magnus did buy back again, and he's now just joining the team, but he is going to join them as they go into the base. Madman has a, no, who's the token? Bloodhunter has a token of life. This could be the final push by Dawn if Blue Dingleballs isn't careful here.
Yeah, I mean, Ray doesn't have a buyback. I mean, Bubbles did go in, he did just buy back, but I don't know if they can defend 3v5.
They're going to try. In comes Dr. Oposo. They know they have to. Shrunken Head popped up. He's trying to kill Madman as quick as possible, but look at the return damage, even with the Shrunken Head. They say we don't give two shits. We got physical damage, baby, and that was plenty. Bubbles, in the meantime, he's also going to get caught. Dr. Pie's back again. He flies in from the left or the right side. He will get the kill on a Madman. He's getting a bit of revenge. Magnus with the eruption. He gets 2 kills. He almost got a third, but a port back on a torch will prevent it. But Magnus is very likely going to fall. Bloodhunter was diving deep, man, that whole time, but now Doctor's in trouble. Bloodhunter wants this kill. He's going for the Feast of Hemorrhage. Yes, he gets the kill. Bloodhunter's on fire right here. He's still chasing. Engineer's in trouble, but now rallies back up. And guess what? This is your classic case of overextension. Dawn going a little too deep right there. And now Bloodhunter, do they have anything to stop? No. Yeah, he's going to be fine.
Very well played. Very well played. Just great presence of mind, knowing exactly when you can TP or not. And in the end, he could. But yeah, like you said, I mean, they did save the racks, but at the same time, they did use a buyback on Bubbles and probably the worst hero to buyback on Dr. Repulse. I mean, he needs the action. I mean, he's almost all the damage coming out from Hellborn at the moment, and he needs that, the Nullstone or even the Sheepstead. Look at the hero damage, 20% out of the whole game. He's doing the most amount of work in terms of hero damage. Like, he needs to get buffed up. He needs that extra little bit of oomph to really help his team in these team fights, because at the moment, it's just not enough without buybacks.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, he's going to be coming up in 10 seconds. He does have 1,100 gold saved up, but yeah, really needs to continue to enhance that farm. So, yeah, I mean, the big picture, sure, several buybacks used. I mean, slowing down Doctor quite a bit. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it's still overall Don's fairly happy with the way that went, but it probably could have gone a little bit better if they didn't dive nearly as much as they did. Again, especially these lesser experienced teams, you will see that from them. Whereas, your BMG Sync at this point, they've learned from their previous experiences, like, it can cost you. in games. So you got to be careful a lot of the time, and this maybe not backfiring the most though for Don in this case right here. So yeah, so now Doctor is starting to get a little bit to that scary point as the game progresses on. So you see right there, when he's above those two stat lines, specifically the 350 goal per minute, 81% win percentage. So, you know, take that for how you will, because again, at the beginning, when he was below 250, he was 0-3 or whatever. So, kind of different phases throughout the game. But most certainly, if I had to obviously put a bet on now, not that that's a risky thing by any means, but probably go with Don here, not the way things are shaping up for them. But Blue Dingo Balls still has a good shot once again, and it takes just one fight. We're still at that point. One good fight for this Hellborn team especially could really keep them climbing back in it, and eventually overtake. But at the same time, both Madman and Bloodhunter are continuing to be very, very difficult right-click threats to deal with. Both now even have a Brutalizer, as Bloodhunter gets one of his own. So is that overkill, you think, or is it necessary? Does it make sense?
It makes sense, though, because I mean, any extra lockdown for this Hellborn team, particularly Doctor Repulse, I mean, if you can sort of perma-lock him down with the silence, with the stun coming from Brutalizer, it makes same time Brutalizer isn't like, you know, the most weirdest item pickup for Bloodhunter. So in a sense, that's always good. Actually, Bloodhunter silencing. Oh, no, I could not get it off on Doctor Repulse in the end.
He used it on himself in the end. A little bit of a misclick there, maybe, but yeah, he's going for it. But yeah, so how's that? So not necessarily overkill, just more so, why not the extra lockdown? Not too shabby to have. And he's going to go to the top lane, joined by the rest of his team right here. This will be an easy tower kill, I'm sure, unless they defend. They're going to defend. Empath goes inside Dr. Pulsar. They want to fight right here. Rally jumps in to start things out. The pull on the Bloodhunter. He's taking a lot of... Oh, we got pushed away. The seismic send did not hit. He's going to take the Storm Spear right there. I'm not sure what pushed him, but whatever it was, it saves him initially. But Bloodhunter is dropping. He cannot get away in time. Big eruption, though, coming out from Magnus yet again. And Dr. Repulsor will fall. Rally down. So even with Bloodhunter dead, the Legion team still looking strong. And that's a lot of thanks to, well, both Magnus and even Madman putting on plenty of damage. Of course, Ophelia doing her work. Specifically with that Ophelia's touch. So they do come out on top, you could say, in the end once again. So they're going to go for the middle racks, but again, buybacks are here. Doctor does have his second and final buyback.
He has to use it.
Yeah.
They can't give up these racks right now. They're so far behind. If they lose these racks, this could be game. He needs to buy back.
Is he going to do? If he hasn't yet, I don't think he is, because now the racks are dead no matter what. That's the worst timing. Bubbles jumps in.
Yep.
That's the absolute worst. The indecision right there, that's not good. So he lost some racks and he bought back.
Yeah, and they couldn't. I don't think they're going to go for 2 racks. I mean, they should capitalize if they can right now. This is the only way to really get back in this game, if they can take something. I know it's hard to take, but they need to try something right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of living life on the edge and not going to go for it in the end. So Dawn right there, they push in the racks. They're going to fall back comfortably, and especially knowing that Doctor used his second and final buyback. Not only has he got a buybacks now, of course, the obvious there, but that's that much more gold that he's behind once again, and that he's going to continue to keep falling behind. So these snowball kind of heroes, they really need to keep that good farm going up and up, progressing up and up throughout the game. Not happening so much here for Dr. Repulsor, so... Yeah, hey, I mean, the indecision, though, you gotta, it's where it'd be really cool to be able to chime into their, like, see what it was like as far as communication goes. Like, you gotta be you just gotta be quick. You know, Swinamel is a perfect,
yep.
he's your buyback player that a lot of people refer to, because he just does it instantly. I mean, you just have to know, you gotta be confident that it's gonna work out, so did not do so right there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, going back to the draft as well, like, if you think about, like, Hellborn, they kind of went all in on this Doctor, and yet the Doctor just isn't where he needs to be. He's got the strong head, he's got the health lab, but, I mean, he just needs to have, like, almost 1 or 2 items more than the Madman or the Bloodhunter, and actually he's 1 item behind in terms of sort of luxury items. He's only got the strong head and health flare, and as a result, I mean, you've got the Madman and Bloodhunter doing a lot of work in these team fights, and at the moment it's really only Doc's doing this work, and it's just not enough work in these team fights, and as a result, Legion are coming ahead again and again.
Yeah, they are. 40 minutes in again. This is game number 1 here, guys, of a best set of 3. We got Blue Dingo Balls versus Dawn. This is the winner bracket finals, a trip to Diamond Division. A trip, more so just qualifying for Diamond Division is on the line here for Han Tour Cycle, or Season 3, Cycle 1, of course. Again, obviously 8 cycles long, and as it's worked on in previous Han Tours, every cycle, you know, teams will be moving up and down. But this is for the initial cycle, which, again, right now, from what we know and from what's very likely going to grow a decent amount more, we're already looking at a $25,000 prize pool, thanks to Ursa Core, the community funding that you guys have been supporting. So middle lane, they're going to be pushing it back here is the Hellborn team. Obviously, they have to. Not going to be jumped, at least just yet. Don kind of making the way over there, but some decent warding coming out from the Hellborn side. You know, this ward right here actually just out of range of the river. I need to rebind my Keiki, I think, because I'm not able to draw anymore. I need to look into that after this.
No, I think that's bugged. Me and Beef had that problem last time we were casting.
Really?
I think I think after the new patch they need to fix that. Actually.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go to the
Slap 'em
office and talk to some peeps. Get an Idager's case for that. Seems like the person that would probably know how to fix that. Anyways, okay, so look at the Rally picking up a glowstone here. You know, Staff of the Master, it's definitely a solid item choice on a Rally.
Oh yeah,
so.
definitely.
He has what? He has a Barrier Idol already. Now, he is going to be picking up a Ring Mill here, so probably a full... and the more I'm looking at it, it's a little surprised they don't have a Souls Bulwark. A defensive Souls Bulwark is probably pretty good here on the Hellborn side to have at this point, so... I wonder if he's going to finish that first, of course. Over going the Staff of the Master here. But speaking of that, Demonic Breastplate finished in full on Madman. What does Bloodhunter have? He must have bought something. He's still sitting on the same items, and now he has 1,200 gold. So, oh, he bought back, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, he
Maybe
did.
that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, his farm's tapering off at about 400 here. Sheepstick! Bubbles is okay, he sold stuff, but Bubbles gets the Sheepstick at least. Right before a fight's about to happen. So, yeah, I think he might have sold the Grave Locket that he had.
Yeah.
But, hey.
He should do it. I mean, this is probably the last push. He needs to get as much stuff as he can.
Yep. Bubbles kind of toying with them. Does force a Magma stun and a Sword Spirit. Here we go. Dr. Pulse with the follow-up. Pulls in Madman. Madman doesn't care. Okay, there we go. There's the pull. He doesn't shrug head initially, actually. He's going to take a lot of damage. Heal comes out from Ophelia, though. Madman still fine. Beating on Dr. Pulse, so he will survive. Dr. Pulse all of a sudden kind of by himself, and he gets damaged out. Empath doesn't stand a chance after, and the GG's being called. Game 1 will go to Dawn over Blue Dingaballs. It was a hell of a fight, but Dawn was just too strong, man. That Madman, I mean, even with a jump on a Madman, they tried, but well, it wasn't to be, obviously, in that game right there. So, final thoughts on that game there, Mini Maggot?
I mean, I think it has to be that the Doctor, that he needs to be a lot more focused in terms of the Hellborn. They need to sort of almost babysit him a little bit more because, I mean, he's really the only sort of carry they had going into the late game. I mean, whereas Legion had a bit more sort of team spread, they could have, like, the Madman, the Bloodthorn, even the Magnus with a lot of farm and still make an impact. But whereas Dr. Repulsor, he needs to be absolutely farm. Like, the sort of, putting all the eggs in one basket of Dr. Repulsor. And in the end, he just wasn't farmed enough to make a difference.
That he was not. So, obviously, again, victory for Dawn here. 1-0 up now over Blue Dingaballs, but it is a best-of-3, as always. So, we got the Winter Bracket Finals. Again, you win this, you are going to Diamond for Han Tour Season 3, Cycle number 1. So, Dawn, and deservingly so, right now up 1-0. We'll see if Blue Dingaballs here can force a third and final game, or if Dawn's going to take care of business yet again. In fact, I want to double-check on that. Has Dawn... have they lost a game? I'm going back to the brackets. They have not dropped a single match. So I think they're the only team to not drop a single match. Yeah, Blue Dingaball has definitely dropped at least one, if not a couple matches.